Outlaw Nation fans, welcome to the special trailer reaction for Ted Lasso Season 2. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined by one of my fellow Geek Buddies, but also the gentleman who helped me review the first season of Ted Lasso, Shannon McClung. How are you, Shannon?
John, I just got a haircut. How does it look?
It looks fantastic. Football is life. And your haircut is life, so I love it.
Yeah, I don't have those long, luxurious locks of Danny Rojas, so I have to keep mine. I have to keep mine high and tight.
Super tight. I get it. Shannon, you know, we had such a good time reviewing season 1, and it just caught on fire. The show, it's been blowing up for a lot of people over the last few months. Ever since it came out, people are discovering it all over again, or discovering it for the first time and falling in love with this show. It's already been greenlighted for a third season, but we still have to watch the second season. And this was all part of an Apple event that happened today. They announced that July 23rd, 2021, this year, July, literally almost right around the corner, season 2 of Ted Lasso is going to drop. How excited were you when they greenlighted season 2, and how excited are you now that we're almost about to watch season 2 of this great show?
I think when you and I started watching it, because you had seen it before I did, I think
Yes.
I had reached out to you about like, hey, have you heard of this show? And you sang its praises. So that's when I started to watch it and got caught up with it. Because I feel like they release like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then they started dropping them week by week.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you and I think you and I were very early on the Ted train to like going back and looking at the views. It's like, yeah, there weren't a ton of like comparing them to like WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier or Mandalorian. Right. I think that would probably be different this year because so many people. I mean, this is the textbook definition of a word of mouth show because Apple TV Plus is not a service a lot of people have. If you buy an Apple product right now, or at least for the last year, they give you a year for free. And then they keep, I mean, at least with me, I bought my new laptop last January and they keep bumping it up. Like now you've got it until March. Now you've got it until April. Now you have it until July. Right. I imagine that train's going to pull into the stage. They're going to stop. They're going to stop giving out those free months because people have discovered Ted Lasso and people are so excited to return to these characters. I love the opening of the trailer. Kindness makes a comeback. I mean,
yeah. Oh, well, we're going to watch the trailer here and then talk about it afterwards for sure. Oh. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. That's why it's called a trailer reaction, because you reacted to the trailers we watched. Yeah, absolutely.
Was I not supposed to watch it yet?
As you can tell, this is Shannon McClung's first time doing a trailer reaction. So, like a good student, he did his homework. But we're going to watch it together. I have not watched it. So, you're going to see my genuine reactions when we watch the trailer and go over it and talk about it afterwards. And, you know, it's so much. Jason Sudeikis has done such a good job with this Ted Lasso character, all the different vignettes, all the different commercials he's done, the interviews since, where he's popped up as the character. It's very reminiscent to Will Ferrell's Anchorman. You know, Anchorman stays with us, occasionally pops up in certain places. Will Ferrell still does the character every once in a while for comedic effect. I think he did it at the NFL draft or one of the ESPN sporting events most recently, and it was so much fun to see him show up again. I feel like Ted Lasso will be one of these characters that will endure in sports, and Jason Sudeikis will be playing him whether there's a season of the show or not for many, many years to come as kind of a callback to this. You know, it's funny, Apple TV released all these shows that had big names like Chris Evans and Jason Momoa and what have you, but this is the one that's really caught on with fans. This is the one that's really been the one a lot of people are talking about. A lot of mainstream fans are discovering, even if they're not soccer fans or football fans. Am I right on that there, Shannon?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I will have to periodically check in with you because there are certain terms in European football that I have no clue what they mean, like relegation. I'm like, we don't have an American equivalent for that. So despite the fact that I am not a European football fan, I fell in love with the show. And it's funny because anytime a comedic performer sees a new comedy out, your instinct is always, I want to be on that show. And because they shoot the entire thing in the UK, the likelihood is very low
You're right. You're going to have a chance to watch this one. All right. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at this. Of course, Ted Lasso 2. Of course, Ted Lasso, the series, has Hannah Waddingham, Brendan Hunt, a personal friend of ours, Jeremy Swift, Juno Temple, Brett Goldstein, Phil Dunster, and Nick Mohammed. We'll see what the Diamond Dogs are up to and catch up on what AFC Richmond has been doing. They got relegated last season. So in relegation, in world football, you get dumped down to the lower division of football, the next lowest division of football, and you get less money, and you have to make do and try to win as much as possible so that you can be one of those top 3 teams that gets elevated into the next, or promoted rather, into the next division. So we'll see what kind of drama this relegation will cause season 2 here in the trailer for Ted Lasso season 2. Let's take a look at it now. This year. I like that. Oh, yeah.
Howdy, y'all.
Ted! What do you say to a cocktail, Coach Lasso?
Oh, the same thing I'd say to Diane Sawyer if she ever asked me out on a date. Yes, please.
Live from the dog track, it's Richmond with 8 straight ties.
How many more matches before you hit the panic button?
There's 2 buttons I never like hitting. That's panic and snooze. I don't care what our record is. It's all about believing that everything's going to work out in the end.
So clearly not doing well.
And isn't the idea of never give up one of them things we always talk about in sports? And shouldn't that apply to people too?
He's got
a beautiful metaphor for many of life's journeys.
The team's just a little unlucky, that's all. Maybe we should bring in a sports psychologist.
Brought you a little something for your first day of work.
I don't eat sugar.
Really? I've never met someone that doesn't eat sugar. Only heard about them. They all live in this godless place called Santa Monica.
Little LA joke. Oh.
You got a fever for the flavor of little girl talk, don't you?
This chap I've been seeing, John.
Stamos?
No, his name's John Wingsnight.
Like at a sports bar? Like Monday night's wings night down at PJ Flats.
Would you please stop?
Rule number 1, even though it's called girl talk, sometimes it needs to be more like, girl, listen.
Oh.
What's Ted doing?
Probably homesick. Closest thing you can find to a Dodge Ram.
Back home, if the team was playing poorly, we don't call them unlucky. What do we call them, Coach?
New York Jets.
Oh, shots. Shots fired at the Jets. All right, so more of what we've seen from the first season of Ted Lasso. Certainly, Shannon, a little more kindness, a little more fun, a little more jokes. Ted kind of getting on people's nerves sometimes with his with his kindness, I guess, and his desire to kind of have these fun little quips in the conversations with those people. But we're seeing Danny Rojas taking more of a central role here in this. We're seeing that they're having trouble in transitioning to second or lower division football. They're not doing as well. Sounds like they're going on a losing streak. They got to bring in a sports psychologist. So a lot of drama and conflict, along with some of the sweet other jokes and fun vibes going on overall. We're seeing more of Brett Goldstein and Juno Temple's relationship developing, that became a storyline last season for sure. What did you think as you were watching this trailer for season 2?
I mean, I don't remember when they started filming, but I want to say it was probably before sort of the wave of love came. So because normally I think what would happen is like you have a show that is just sort of universally beloved, and there's a lot of pressure. There are a lot of expectations to match the first season's enthusiasm, to match that first season's quality. And a lot of times shows kind of fumble the ball because expectations, if they get too high, like the audience can be disappointed. But going in because the show had not sort of become the juggernaut that it became towards the end of the year, I'm thinking we're going to get a nice sort of pure continuation of what Ted Lasso and the Richmond team story was supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, I love that we're seing more of Sam. Like Sam kind of took a back seat towards the end of the last season when Danny Rojas came in. But hopefully they're able to give both of them that, that spotlight. I mean, I'll be curious to see if Jamie Tart comes back.
Right.
I don't know when a team has been relegated. Do they play any of those top tier teams, or are they in that bottom division?
Oh, they only do if for competitions like, so this is set in England, it would be the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. They might run into them in those competitions, not necessarily obviously in league play they wouldn't run into them, but certainly in those competitions. So maybe, just maybe, down the road in the season, they will play Jamie Tardif. He's still at Manchester City. Last we saw him being berated by his dad. We shall see. But you're right. Sam and Danny Rojas seem to be the two top strikers now for AFC Richmond as they're in this lower division right now, applying their football trade. And certainly we're going to see a little bit more of the conflicts and these relationships. You know, Shannon, it's great when people end up together at the end of season one. But just like real life, there's always a season 2 in life, and you go, okay, what do we do now that we're together? Now that we're really honed in, what will be the struggles? What will be the conflicts? Even between Ted and Hannah Waddingham's character, what is their conflict going to be now as owner and coach? Because obviously she wants to move the team back up to the upper division so that they can recoup so they can get paid more money. They can be established again, and they can have a little more prestige behind their football and afford better players. And there is a season 3 coming, so hopefully they will get promoted into the next division. But overall, a really fun trailer. But I don't know if it 100% shows me too much, just enough to get me excited to be back in these characters' lives for sure. What about you?
I mean, we're going to get to see in season 2 Nate the Great as an official assistant coach. He's no longer the equipment manager. They made him part of the coaching staff towards the end. And as we've seen, Beard and Ted don't know a ton about soccer.
It's true. Don't know a ton about football. True.
So having Nate the Great in there in that official capacity, I mean, I get that they didn't show us a ton, but I mean, it's a sitcom essentially. I mean, and I don't think we need to see what this big overarching story is going to like. What's the mystery of we don't need to know what that is. We're just getting to go back to hang out with these characters that we fell in love with in season 1.
Yeah, and we'll see what Keely Jones's role is going to be in the club, Juno Temple's character, and what is Brett Goldstein going to do? Because from what I remember from last season, it looks like he retired from football. So we're probably going to see what his life is going to be like post-football. Is he going to be satisfied overall, Roy Kent, about what's going to go on in his world? So will that cause some friction as well? So overall, looks like a fun back to the vibe of Ted Lasso season 1 with some new conflicts thrown in. And I think it's Sarah Niles, if I'm looking at that right. Sarah Niles will be playing the sports psychologist who we saw there, who does not like sugar. So kind of interesting, right? The symbolism, she doesn't like sugar, she doesn't like sweet. Ted's sweet. Does she not like Ted? We shall see down the road if that kind of becomes a conflict between both of them, because in essence, a sports psychologist is going to help the team get back on track. Is her methods going to vie with Ted's methods? We shall see. So a lot to explore for sure. All right. Any final words, Shannon?
No, not at all. I mean, just this is a wonderful series. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You definitely won't regret it. If you want to check it out closer to July 23rd, so you can go and just season 1 straight into season 2, probably an even better plan. Yep.
You can finish this with the first season in a day, ladies and gentlemen. It is so good, and you won't want to stop. It's so good. So, all right, that's our review or trailer reaction, rather, for season 2 of Ted Lasso. Trailer dropped today at the Apple event. And as Shannon said, comes out July 23rd. Shannon, where can they find you?
Yeah, if you'd like to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at Shannon_McClung, and on Instagram at Shannon the Geek Buddy. And you can see me every week, actually twice a week, with this gentleman to my right.
Sure.
My right, your left. One day we're gonna get a grasp of that. Every week on the Geek Buddies.
Absolutely, that's right. We got those Falcon and Winter Soldier reviews, and we might be doing a live review of the finale here sometime later on this week. We're going to announce it once we settle that for sure. All right, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please remember to subscribe down below, hit a like on this, and also leave a comment and share it on your social media as well. And always remember, football is life.